The Western Conference play-in race. The Timberwolves are the 7th spot right now. They're only half a game behind the Warriors. The Warriors are clicking on all cylinders. The Rockets have started winning again, which is big because I kind of felt like they were maybe reaching a point where they could slip and find themselves in the play-in tournament. But we're going to talk about the play-in race in the West. And really, I'm talking about 3 teams that are sad in their own ways. But the Timberwolves are starting to get it going a little bit. They've been, I think they're 10-0 was the stat I saw in the last 10 games that Julius Randle has played in. He's looked good, man. They really need his playmaking. And they're starting to figure some stuff out. They're starting to figure some stuff out with their rotation. They're starting to realize guys like Terrence Shannon Jr. are players who can help them win games. Like, they're starting to figure some stuff out, right? And they're definitely a team that I think could peak at the right time and make some noise. The Texas Tech legend, obviously. Will Wolves or Golden State Warriors be the 6th seed at the end? Do they play each other again? The Warriors just can't lose. Oh, shit. Timberwolves Nuggets tomorrow night. Tune in. No, they don't play each other again. But the Timberwolves schedule does not look that bad. You got Denver twice, but you've got Orlando, who's not very good. You have Utah, who stinks. The Pacers are good. Pelicans stink. Phoenix fucking reeks like shit. Pistons are good. But then you got Brooklyn, Philly. Both those teams will be full-fledged tanking by that point. Milwaukee, Memphis, Brooklyn, Utah. Both those teams will be taking their ass off by this point. That's pretty easy, all things considered. Compare them to the Warriors. I mean, the way that those two teams are playing, I don't know. I can see both of them in the playoffs and another team falls out. Warriors' schedule doesn't look that bad either, to be honest with you. Sacramento on Thursday. Oh, we've done the Suns' schedule. The Suns' schedule is brutal. We'll look at that in a second. Sacramento, New York, Denver. Oh, that's Milwaukee. That's kind of a brutal 4-game stretch here. But games against tanking teams and stuff like that should be considered a win. Lakers have a pretty soft schedule too. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. I mean, how possible is it that if you were to say, hey, the Lakers, Grizzlies, Rockets, like one of these teams actually drops out? I don't know, man. The Lakers are 4 games up, 4.5 games up on the play, and that just feels like so much ground to lose in just like a month. I don't really see that. Rockets fall. They're 3.5 back. They have won 3 in a row. Starting to get a little, Jabari Smith's back. They're starting to get a little healthier. What does their schedule look like? Their schedule is not that crazy either. Does everyone just have well, I don't know. I'm looking at this actually. An important game against Golden State. That could end up being really big. Really, really big in terms of seeding. A couple of games against the Lakers. That could be really, really big. Phoenix, we know how shit they are. Dallas, unfortunately, we know how shit they are now. Chicago shit, Philly shit, Orlando shit, Miami shit. So they've got a pretty easy schedule over the next couple of weeks that maybe they should be able to give themselves some cushion. So much shit. Rockets are tightening it up, but I don't expect them to go past the second round. No, I don't expect much out of the Rockets in the playoffs, but see if they can hold down a playoff spot. And I don't see the Grizzlies falling, honestly. I just think they're too well coached and stuff, in my opinion. They're too good of a regular season team for them to like really fall off in standings like that. And also, I'm assuming Jaren Jackson Jr. is coming back soon. Right? I'm assuming he should be back soon. I haven't seen any updates on that. Do you think the Magic will be contenders in the next 5 years? I would like to think so. Their like front office doesn't leave me super confident in that. And unfortunately, I haven't seen this year. I haven't seen enough from Paolo for me to be like, yeah, he's going to be the guy. You know, I think he will be ultimately, but a weird year for him with injuries and stuff. But predict the play-in. I think this just ends up being it right here. I do. I think the Warriors, Timberwolves will be interesting to see who ends up holding down this spot. I think that this is I think this is the top 10. I really do. The Suns are fucking pathetic, man. I mean, they are. They are pathetic. And the Mavs are pathetic in their own way. I think the Kings are pathetic in their own way. The Suns are a special kind of pathetic. It's all there. I mean, it's right in front of them, man. It really is. Like, hey, Suns, realistically, all you probably have to do between now and the end of the season is play like 500 basketball. Like, that's it. Just, I don't know, go like 9-9 in your last 18 games or whatever, and you're in the play-in tournament. That's all you have to do. The Mavericks will lose the games. They don't have the horses. They will lose the games. All you have to do is win. And you might be like, dude, slightly, that feels a little unfair. When was the last time they won back-to-back games? Holy fuck. When was the last time they won back-to-back games, man? What date was this? Dog, when did this game happen? They haven't won back-to-back games since January 27th. Oh my God. Oh my, look at that, dude. Oh my God. Oh. They're so pathetic. Now you might think, hey man, lose on the road to the Grizzlies, not the end of the world. And I do agree with you. Lil Nesso, 2 months. Here's to another month. Love the streams. Cheers, Lil Nesso. I'm drinking my Nespresso. Damn, it's good, man. Damn. The Memphis Grizzlies had Cam Spencer playing. Quick, do you know who he is? You're lying. No, you don't. They were closing with Lamar Stevens, Marvin Bagley, Cam Spencer on the court. So the Memphis Grizzlies were closing with. Cam Spencer, Lamar Stevens, and Marvin Bagley. Now I know you're thinking, oh, there's another guy named Marvin Bagley who's in the league. No, that's the Marvin Bagley you're thinking of. You're thinking of the right one. Cam Spencer hit a 3 and had the gall, because nobody respects this Phoenix Suns team whatsoever, had the gall to talk shit to Kevin Durant directly in his face. True, Marvin Bagley was picked before Luka, so he is really good. Everyone said Tyus Jones was a good offseason move. Imagine having Bill Booker and KD, and you still need an offensive initiator. Yeah, Tyus Jones has been absolutely dog shit. Their center rotation is so fucking bad, right? Nick Richards, I think, stinks. Just stinks. Tyler the 499. Good morning, brother. Why the Mavs getting out tanked? Why someone call you a crybaby on Locked On video comments last night? I miss Pussy Liquor. Who called me a crybaby? I don't care. Locked On comments? I ain't in there. Why was I a crybaby on Locked On last night? What did I say? I don't even remember. Was it because I want them to tank badly? Which I do. I want them to tank. Anyways, Tyus Jones hasn't really panned out. He's horrible defensively and offensively. Just doesn't really do much for banning people on your video. Wait, what? Banning people on my video? I think he said you were banning people in your stream. Oh. Yeah, I do ban people on my stream. Oh, you got that crybaby on? Although he was just banning people all day at his live stream the other night. Was I? I'm going to be honest with you. If I ban you, you've probably said some crazy ass shit here. If I ban you, you probably said some wild shit. That was like a week ago. I don't even remember that. But that's funny, though. Anyways. Yeah, that's true. I probably should be a little bit stronger with my bans. Retna was pushing the line last night. He was towing the line. Paul with the $5. Slightly biased does ban people all the time. As a matter of fact, I am banned right now. He said he liked Luka and you banned him. What? I mean, that's just a lie. That's just a lie. If we didn't win a game for the rest of the season, what are our chances of getting flag? So if the Mavs lose out for the rest of the season, and let me finish talking about the Suns really quickly, and I'll get to that point because that's a good point. So I think the Suns are pathetically bad. And KD had 35 points in this game. It was great. Booker, I thought, was fine. I mean, Booker hasn't been anywhere near the level that you would want Booker to be over the course of the whole season. But just as a whole, man, their team is just sad. Like, that's really it. They're sad to watch, you know. They look like dead men walking, which is a shame because part of me was hoping from the Mavs tank side of things, part of me was hoping that there would just be sort of this external boost for them where they would see the Mavs situation and think, okay, look, guys, it's been an embarrassing season for us by and large, but we have this opportunity to at least sneak into the play-in tournament. And you know what? We got KD, we got Book. Like, maybe we can convince ourselves. Those two get hot. Maybe we can do something, right? At least make the playoffs. At least, you know, just at least make the playoffs and get out of here with something. And even then, you watch them play and you don't even feel like, you don't feel. What do you think it honestly is, King? They've quit. They have quit. This looks like a team that quit. That's it. This team quit like months ago. Budenholzer does not have the team, right? Suns fans hate Mike Budenholzer. I mean, at a certain point, what would that be? If they fire him, this would be the fourth coach in 4 years. Time to look within at that point. Time to look within. They've gotten a good KD season, you know, and he's a little bit older. And I think defensively that shows at times. That's to be expected. I don't know what is up with Book this year. I really don't. You watch him, doesn't look anywhere near the top 10 player that he was, that he's been at the peak of his career. The dominant Book nights where it's like, dude, no matter what he does on the court, you can't stop him. Feel farther and fewer in between. And defensively, not that Book was ever like a great defender or anything like that, but he would try hard defensively. That hasn't really been there either. So I don't know what the thing is with him. I don't know if he's kind of soft quitting here. I don't know if. Here's one thing to think about with Book, right? Is he's 28, so he should be in the prime of his career. No, him and Kendall are back together, guys. I was informed that they were on a ski trip together, actually. But for Book, 28 should be the peak of his career. He's played a lot. He's been in the NBA a long time. And he's played a lot of minutes, man. He's played 22,000 minutes in the regular season. 1,800. In the playoffs. I don't know. You're the no? I saw it on Twitter. No, nobody's coming to me with Devin Booker, Kendall Jenner news. And Tyus Jones stinks defensively. I mean, he's absolutely horrific defensively. Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards is your center tandem. I mean, the Beal trade was such a fucking debacle. The Nurkic trade was such a debacle. I mean, it is just sad. It really is sad. I mean, it's pathetic what they've got going on. It really is. I mean, it really, really is. So sad and pathetic. And I feel strongly about this now because I want the Mavericks to be tanking. I do not want the Mavericks to be in the play-in tournament. But here's the big difference between them. And here's why I do respect the Mavs. The big difference, and this is why it's important that the Suns figure it out, because here's the big difference. The Mavericks play their asses off. That's the fundamental difference between these two teams. The Mavericks play their ass off no matter what. No matter what. They play incredibly hard. And they're going to fall ass backwards into wins, especially against other shitty teams like the Spurs. They beat the Mavs win last night, 133-129. They had 4 of their 8 players, 4 of them scored in double digits. Not double digits, I'm sorry. 20 points. 4 of them had 20 points. Dinwiddie had 28 off the bench. Clay had 26. Clay's been really good lately. Kessler Edwards had a 22-point double-double. Career high in points and rebounds. Najee had 23 points. He's been incredible lately. Luka, we're good, bro. I look at Najee Marshall. Luka, you can go. Spurs players should be embarrassed. I mean, they're taking, right? De'Aaron Fox should be embarrassed, right? He was awful last night. But also at the same time, he's hurt and going to get season-ending surgery. I was doing a Kings deep dive. We'll talk about them here in a bit. What a shit show. I mean, what a shit show. So I say there's 3 embarrassments in the Western Conference. I do include the Mavericks in there. Mavericks embarrassment, obviously, is a lot of it not their fault. Embarrassment might be the wrong word, but just the sheer amount of injuries is just insane. Just absolutely insane. And it would be another thing if it was like injuries, wink, wink, right? Like, oh, they're injured. That'd be another thing. But the Mavs dealing with like these real legitimate injuries. I've never seen anything like it. Devastating. And obviously an embarrassment because of the Luka trade. But the way that they've played has not been embarrassing. They play very hard. They've been depleted, and everyone they've asked to step in and play in roles that they're not accustomed to has played hard, right? And recently, they were just on a 5-game losing streak, and they got blown out in some of those. And that's just, you don't have the horses. You don't have the talent, right? And in this league, you're going to lose a lot of games when you don't have the talent. It's very much a talent-driven league, obviously. But they still play hard. You got Kessler Edwards playing center minutes, man. And getting 22 and 11. 4 offensive rebounds. You bring in Caleb Martin, and I'm sure Caleb Martin in the back of his mind's like, thank fuck, man. Like, I was just playing point guard at times on the Sixers. Now he's tasked with doing a bunch of different shit. And I thought he was great defensively last night. I really did. I thought he was great. Spurs not getting enough hate. Here comes generational hater. Spurs not getting enough hate. Even if Wemby went down, they should still be better than this complete ass they have shown. I do kind of agree with you. Let's share on Kid, but he still does have his team behind him. All right, let me ask you guys this. Let's say, I'm trying to think, what's the better scenario? Either the Luka trade doesn't happen and we'll just pretend Luka's like AD and is still hurt, or Luka demanded a trade. Like, let's take the Mavs embarrass themselves by trading Luka aspect out of it. Let's just say Luka demanded the trade and the Mavs traded him, right? If the Mavs ended the season with a winning record, all things considered, I think objectively speaking, Kid would have to get at least some Coach of the Year love. Not that he would get first place votes or win it. But he would have to get some, like, hey man, let's not forget about Jason Kidd in these talks. JP with the $5. My Nico hate makes me wish Mavs make the play in and have to forfeit due to injuries. Am I bad? That would be interesting. No way Adam Silver would allow that. I mean, this Mavs team finishing with a winning record would be a miracle. I mean, Doc Rivers won for getting a team to 500. They play hard, man. It's hilarious. This is the season that convinced me he's an above-average coach. I don't think you make the finals accidentally. I really don't. I don't think you're a bad coach to make the finals. Especially, and you could say it was a Luka stuff, but especially last year, like, you know, it was statistically the worst postseason of Luka's career. Now that's what we're talking about here is a historically great postseason performer. So even Luka's like worst, statistically speaking, postseason of his career is still incredible, right? But Kyrie got played out of some series there. Not played out of some series, but got taken out of some series. Like the Thunder series, they made it a point of emphasis to not let Kyrie get off. Monty Williams did. I think Monty Williams was a good coach for the Suns. I don't think he wanted to coach the Pistons. Like, by all accounts, that seems like what it was. Like, he was done coaching. The Pistons threw him a bag, and he just really didn't want to be there. And was not invested. If your coach isn't fully invested, then that's bad. Yeah. They took. That's what I meant to say. They took away Kyrie's scoring, and Kyrie was still good in that Thunder series as a playmaker. By all accounts, wasn't David Blatt a good coach? Like, LeBron just didn't like him. If that's it, then you're done. $2 playoff runs while coaching an elite defense with different personnel each time. Respect, kid. Yeah, I think that's it, man. 2 conference finals runs in 3 years with 2 completely different teams. Obviously, a lot of that's Luka Doncic. But oh no, he never gets any blame, so no credit. Kyrie should get it for being a leader. Wait, are you saying kid that never gets any blame? Are you seriously saying that in here? Like, are you seriously saying that? Remember Luka screamed at Kid and said, "You knew, so is he really that good of a coach?" I don't remember that. I mean, coaches and players getting into it is not a weird thing. Is Joe Mazzulla a better coach than Kid then? Joe Mazzulla is a really fucking good coach. Yeah. I just don't think Kid's one of the worst coaches in the league, like people say. Is he an elite coach? I don't know. Is he like a great coach? Probably not. But is he terrible? I really don't think so. So you have the Mavericks who are, dude, they're 2.5 games up on the Suns. And we talk about how shitty the Suns are. Like those games against the Grizzlies last night are games you have to win. You look at their schedule. They've got a 5-game stretch here that's very manageable. And if you want to make the play-in tournament, you probably have to go 4-1 or at least 5-0. Tyler with the $4.99. Did you see JJ Redick post game? Love his style. Worth the 1-minute watch. I don't know if I saw his interview last night. Are you talking about the one after the Kings game where he basically was shitting on their offense and took the blame for it? Kid is fine for the most part, but he cannot coach offense at all. Great vibes guy, great defensive mind, but bad at offense / play calling. I don't know. If it comes out tomorrow that the team doesn't care about Jason Kidd anymore, I have no problem firing him. But for the most part, it looks like they play really hard under him, and that's like half the fucking battle. Look at the Phoenix Suns, dude. So anyways, 5-game stretch here that the Suns absolutely need to win. At least 4. On the road against Houston, Sacramento at home, LA on the road. Tough one, obviously, but no LeBron. Probably no LeBron. Toronto and Chicago. You got to win those games, man. You have to. Because then here's the stretch after that. And buckle up, because this shit's fucking crazy. Here's the stretch for the Suns after this. Home versus the Cavs. Home versus the Bucks. Home versus the Celtics. Road versus the Timberwolves, who are figuring it out quickly. Home versus the Rockets. Road versus the Bucks. Road versus the Celtics. Road versus the Knicks. Home versus the Warriors. Home versus the Thunder. That is a absurd 10-game stretch. I mean, a 10-game stretch where your easiest game is home versus the Rockets. That's your easiest game. Home versus Houston. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really difficult for me to imagine them climbing into the play-in tournament, man. It really is. 2.5 games they have to make up. And I think the Mavericks will lose enough. Well, the Suns win enough is really the problem. And then we have another team in the play-in tournament, the Kings, who it feels like are cementing themselves as probably this 9 seed. They've lost 2 straight. Haven't been playing terribly over the last 10 games. Their problem is they really can't beat good teams. Their record against winning teams is abysmal. They've been without Sabonis now for a bit, but they're their own level of embarrassing, where they're kind of starting to remind me of the Mavs a tiny bit, where you have a owner who doesn't seem to have any clue what the fuck he's doing. So the De'Aaron Fox situation was always strange. Now, the De'Aaron Fox stuff is funny to me for a lot of different reasons. De'Aaron Fox just seems like a very interesting guy. Seems very much like I want things to be as easy as possible for me, but I don't want to take any blame. If people get mad at me, I want people to understand that I had nothing to do with it, and I don't think people should get mad at me. Like, let me do everything that I want, and I don't want to take any I don't want to like own anything that I do. Like, don't be mad at me about anything. You had the NFT scandal with De'Aaron Fox. Which I'm actually kind of surprised got swept this far under the rug. Granted, it was about 3 years ago now, and it was in the midst of the just the the NFT scam. You saw one every other second. Oh my god, look at these, dude. NBA's De'Aaron Fox indefinitely postpones NFT project, keeps investor money. I mean, look at these shits. These are so ugly. Legendary scandal and slightly early lore. Yes. Legendary. My God. So fucking ugly. So anyways, the Kings have sort of been this, really over the last 4 decades, this beacon of ineptitude. People paid for that? Unfortunately, yes. But the De'Aaron Fox trade has sort of opened up this new level. Looks great. Here's 10,000. God, I mean, I wish I had no moral compass at all. I would love to do an NFT rug pool. Do you get in trouble for that? Honestly. The crypto rug pool, do you get in trouble? Is there any consequences for that? I'm drunk as fuck slightly. Please notice me, goat. What up, JP? Has anyone gotten in trouble for a crypto scam? Anyways, they're under Vivek. Obviously, we know how there's been extensive stuff on how bad he is, right? So Fox demands a trade. I didn't realize how bad this was. I didn't realize how bad this was and how deep this got. So they fired Mike Brown. Fox and Mike Brown were very close. Fox did not want Mike Brown fired. This was a Vivek thing through and through. How do you Vivek? A Vivek thing through and through. And I didn't really know this until today. I was reading this article that Vivek wanted him gone. Monty McNair, the GM, didn't want him gone. Doesn't sound like. De'Aaron Fox did not want him gone. The fucked up thing was Vivek did not address the media about this at all. Monty McNair didn't do a press conference about the Mike Brown firing for 40 days. 40 days. And that's why, so the press conference that Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd had hours after the trade, the Luka trade, horrible, right? Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. But, and I thought, if it's that bad, then why on earth would you have the press conference? It's important that they did it just because they got out in front of it. They answered the questions. I do applaud them for that. They answered the questions, and it prevented this awkward situation where, like what happened with the Mike Brown firing in Sacramento, where De'Aaron Fox is now having to answer all of these questions, right? De'Aaron Fox is the one that has to answer all these questions. So players and the coach has to be the one to answer these questions. And that's really not fair. That's really not fair for them. And that's what happened. And people thought, the night before Mike Brown got fired, the Kings lost the game, and De'Aaron Fox fucked up, and he was mad at De'Aaron Fox afterwards, right? Right before the firing practice, Mike Brown was seen talking with De'Aaron Fox for like 10 minutes. So people thought, oh hey, this is De'Aaron Fox doing. Really unfair to him. So anyways, they demand a trade. All of this shit comes out that Jeremy Lamb is behind the scenes pulling some strings. Jeremy Lamb, who is reportedly dating Vivek's daughter, who's also very high up, and it sounds like she's going to be next in line. This is just the biggest shit show you've ever seen. New York Times had an article 4 days ago. This is where I'm getting a lot of this information. This is just a disgusting shit show. And Sabonis now, it's reported in the summer, Sabonis is going to say, Hornets legend Jeremy Lamb, yes. And it's now reported that Domantas Sabonis in the summer is going to be like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? What the hell's going on exactly? And who knows what that's going to lead to. There was an unnamed source, but I guess it would be Malik Monk. An unnamed player source who also was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, are we trying to be good? I don't understand it. Haven't heard Jeremy Lamb in a while, man. That's wild. Yes. And, hey, maybe Jeremy Lamb's a really smart guy and wants to be involved in front office stuff, which isn't that crazy, right? You see former players get into front office stuff all the time, but yes, strategic dating. Marrying his way into it. Oh, man. Just a complete and total shit show there. Complete and total shit show. So it's 3 different shit shows. The Suns, Mavs, and Kings. All different. The King stuff with Vivek reminds me a lot of, like, Cuban. It's what it kind of sounds like. Cuban, like, is just looking for so many different voices, so many different opinions that all of these people now see that and they're like, whoa, well, I can squeeze my way in here. So you have like 20 different people. 20 different people all involved and all thinking that they can make big decisions within the organization. It's a complete and total shit show. It makes you kind of appreciate the good ownership situations because it's very rarely that you get that perfect balance, right? It's very rare. You get that balance where the owners are hands off enough, where they let management do their thing, but the infrastructure is so strong that you have a clear hierarchy. Because I think when you have hands off owners, I think you can get to a point where it's like, yeah, I can squeeze my way in here. When you have hands on owners, especially ones, like that's, I think Jerry Jones is fucking terrible at what he does, but at least he's the owner and he is the GM. I'm making the decisions, right? I am making the decisions. Towards the end of Cuban's tenure, is like there's like 15 different decision makers, right? And I think there's probably going to be a documentary series or a movie or something about the Mavericks, because it's just, I don't think we understand the level at which it reached at the end of the Cuban era. Like how fucking insane it was. Like how many different people were involved. Might be one of the current minority owners, but it could be anybody theoretically with a few $1 billion to spend. Yeah, and I mean the Celtics are another one where it's like getting new owners is always a scary thing. You never know. The ideal owner is someone who comes in and is like, "Hey, I like the team. I want them to be good. I respect. I'll spend money. I want them to be good. It's an investment for me. I care about it, but also I understand the fact that I'm not a basketball savant. I'm not a genius. I'm going to let these people handle it. I'm going to pay them a lot of money. I'm going to let them handle it, and I'm going to be hands off in that front." They did say the team is safe, though. No one is leaving. Well, who are you talking about? The Celtics situation? Philly Eagles probably the best. Eagles are an example. I mean, the Patriots were like this. Weren't the Crafts pretty hands off and just like really invested in the team being good, but like just respected what Belichick had going on? Rangers ownership was a problem for a while. They refused to spend money. Steelers, I can't speak on a lot of those teams. Warriors were a great example. Sure. Typically, you don't really want to know much about your owner. Hey, our owner cares and is putting money into it and is just kind of hands off outside of that. You always got to be. I can't believe the Cuban stuff, man. The Cuban stuff. There's going to be a movie about this shit, man. Really. Anyways, if I had to predict, I think this would be the top 10. I do think there's a chance the Suns could get in there, but who knows with them. The Mavs, I mean, at what point, here's the question, right? It was reported yesterday that AD could come back and will reach a point where he'll be able to play. He'll be healthy. At what point, like where do you have to veer? It's like, well, we might as well bring him back. Who plays slightly in the Mavs movie? Timothy Chalamet, easily. Ellen DeGeneres will play Cuban. You see Bill Simmons gave Ben and Skin a shout out when they were brainstorming who would play each character of the movie? Hell yeah. Nice. Is the Cuban stuff the interview or are there new stuff? I mean, I was talking about the interview, but I'm talking about like the end of the 10 from what we knew. I mean, do you guys remember there was the quartering? Fuck you. There was Will Smith should play slightly. I could see that. Who would play slightly biased in the Mavs movie? The quartering. You're a piece of shit for that. You know that? Tom Holland's Luca? No, that's easily what's the dude's name? What's the dude's name who has the late night talk show? Corbin. What's his name? Anyways, the end of the Cuban era. I mean, there was a lot of Sports Illustrated articles. I'm speculating here, but I do know Cuban was wanting to run for president. That was real. And I think a lot of the stuff that came out about what was going on in the Mavs office, some of the allegations, pretty much put an end into that. Put it into that saga. Anyways, complete and total shit show in the Western Conference, man. Are we certain Cuban still doesn't want to be president? Yeah, I think it's too late.